ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita, and we were in chapter 4. For the last few Sundays, we have covered 4 shlokas, very important for our personal spiritual life, apart from philosophical explanation regarding what is the concept of incarnation of the divine. In our Sanskrit language, it is known as Avatarvada, the concept of divine incarnation, the divine born as a human. And history proves that occasionally such people are born. So it is a fact of life, fact of history. You can't call it a woolly-headed idea. Apart from the mythological period, historically, Abraham, Moses, Buddha, Christ, Shankara Ramanuja, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Muhammad, and Sri Ramakrishna. They are the facts of history which you cannot deny. And if you try to analyze their personality, you will find they are as human as ever. Only their sensitivity and their reaction to the world is of a different pattern altogether, away from these humans like us with follies and faults, frailties and frivolities. So dear, these 4 shlokas deals with that concept, that fact of life, fact in history. From the 13 dishes, from the 9th to the 12th verse. The 13th verse is in sequence, starts another very controversial section. The controversy is the concept of class system in Indian society. If you permit me and bear with me, I would quickly today have a bird's eye view of these last 4 shlokas so that we know how do we build up our spiritual life. And I'm concerned only with that. Philosophy comes in occasionally to satisfy our rationality. But the main theme is how can we build up our spiritual life and reach its goal, that is oneness with the divine, while living in this world, moving in this world, having our being in this world, but we raise the level of our personality and awareness that we become one with God. That is the purpose of this study. Now, let us quickly read the shloka number 9. Janma karma chame divyam ya evam beti tattatah tvakta deham punarajanma na eti mam eti sa Arjuna. Vasudeva Krishna Sri Krishna. Vasudev means his father was Maharaja Vasudeva, imprisoned by Kamsa, whatever that may be. Vasudeva is son of Vasudeva. Who is he? By his own name, he is Sri Krishna. He is now speaking about himself, who he is. He has mentioned that before. Who he is, why is he born, what purpose does he fulfill when he is born. Philosophical, universal. But now he is concentrating on individuals. The students of the Bhagavad Gita, students who would understand that here is God, who is not an abstraction, he is a concrete reality, as concrete, as tangible, as real as I am. So Sri Krishna discloses, look, my dear Arjuna, through Arjuna, the whole class of students till the end of human civilization who will study the Gita. They have been studying it for the last 5,000 years and they will study it for long. Look, though I do appear to be born, but my birth is just not a biological process which we see in nature. My birth is divyam alaukikam, effulgent. Why? Because I am born through the concept of Immaculate Conception. I choose who will be my mother, and I am born there without any natural process. That is how I am born. And we know this has happened to Christ, it has happened to Rama, it has happened to Krishna, this has happened to Shankara, Ramanuja, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sri Ramakrishna. Just quickly to remind you, Sri Ramakrishna was on a pilgrimage to Gayadham, the abode of Vishnu, temple of Vishnu, far, far, far away from home. He has a dream that Narayana Vishnu, Shankha Chakra Padmadhari, four-armed with all that, comes to him and says, I will be born to you. I am satisfied with your life and I will be born to you. And this poor Brahman priest says, Sir, I do not have enough food to feed myself. How would I feed you? I know you are born in royal family and you are used to royal dishes. He says, you don't bother, I'll take care of that. But I will be born to you. Few hundred miles away, his wife Chandramani Devi, while going for a bath by the Shiva temple, she feels that a great source of power, energy and light emanating from the Shiva idol, Shiva Lingam, and saturating her, overwhelming her, filling her up. And she fainted and she swooned. Her companions, who were all going for the bath together, they were absolutely aghast. They somehow or other nursed her to normalcy. And then she said, this is what I see, this is what I experience, and I feel I am carrying. I feel that way. That is how Sri Ramakrishna was born. And during that period of pregnancy, she had views of so many gods and goddesses to see that he who is going to arrive is safe and sound. And a piece of land that they had that started producing cereals, that is rice, 10 times than what you used to do before, so that they don't have starvation. Certainly. This is a recorded history confirmed by people of the time. Not only Sri Ramakrishna and his family, people around of his time. That was how Sri Ramakrishna was born. And that birth is all laukikam. It is not natural process of being born. It is a divine process of God. They will it and it happens. Whatever it may be, karma, janma and karma me divyam, dotanavan, full of suggestive meaning. Full of suggestive meaning, enlightening, it's a splendor. How I am born and how I carry on with my behavior pattern in this world. A person who is keenly involved in this, who realizes it in itself, without any spice and salt and imagination, he or she objectively studies my life, studies the way I am born, the way I conduct myself, the way I preach, I teach, I behave, I am compassionate and so forth. They see and they know in itself that it is something extraordinarily unnatural, divine. Jo beti tattatah, those who see it as it is, in reality, in truth. What happens to this culture that they have developed, who knows me and my activity as divine? What happens to them? Tvakta deham punarjanma nayati. They are not born over and over again as we are born, subject to our unfulfilled strong desires. Tvakta deham punarjanma nayati. They are no more born as humans. Where does he go? What happens to him? Mameti saha, hey Arjuna. Arjuna, listen to me. They come and merge with me. What does it mean? We are the divine because of that divine discipline of seeing an incarnation in the true light, true spirit, as it is in itself, without any spice and salt. They merge in me. That is, I created them, I saturated them with my being, and by this process, studying the life and teachings of an incarnation and following the teachings of that incarnation, they realize me and they merge into me. This is the essence of the 9th verse, 9th shloka. Immediately, it will come to me, you say, those who know me as such. You don't say, how do I know you as such? Won't you tell me the methodology by means of which I will know you? Won't you tell me that the 10th shloka, the verse, is an answer to this question? How do I experience the reality behind the appearance of a divine incarnation walking through? How do I? He says, I will tell you what is the procedure that you will follow, following which you will saturate yourself with my ideas, my presence, and you will be one with me. Shloka number 10. Vita raga bhaya krodha. You have to totally, without any residue left, without any possibility of recurrence, that is vigata, vita. What? Raga, bhaya and krodha. 3 principal passions of a normal human. Raga is attachment and aversion. When raga is fed, raga dvesha comes together. Attachment and aversion. It also binds you. It is also a subtle way of bondage. So get totally rid of, not to recur again, not to come back again. What? Raga, attachment and aversion, bhaya, fear, and krodha is anger. Dvaitat vai bhayam bhavati. As long as the concept of duality, there is a concept of fear. We too, we are deeply in affectionate interaction with each other. Every little this way or that way, we are afraid our emotional intimacy will break or has broken. We are always afraid. In one of our textbooks, Vairagya Shatakam, they say, when you are young, you are afraid of old age. When you are healthy, you are afraid of sickness. When you are rich, you are afraid of being robbed. Or, in the present day, if you are keeping things from the secret, you are afraid of income tax department. You are afraid. You are afraid of everything under the sun. There's only one. Vairagyam eva abhayam. Vitte kritantad bhayam. Gune badi bhayam. If you are very well reputed, you are afraid of being criticized. Fear is a part and parcel of your life. Get rid of that. Why? God is and I am. I have nothing to fear with God because He is in me and I am. That does not mean you be a reckless, stupid ass. Irresponsible, reckless. No. You are responsible. You know your rights and duties. You behave in such a manner that you know, I am in God. I am with God. I have nothing to fear. And krodha is anger. As soon as my wish is not fulfilled, I am angry. but I forget that it is God's will that run the world, not my will. Vitaraga bhaya krodha, that is a way of suppressing, getting rid of. You can't do it without positive attitude. You can't live in negativity. All this is a discipline of getting rid of. How can you? You fill it up with wine of God. Manmaya mam upashrita. Manmaya. Let your mind be totally saturated in me. And it is not so easy. Take shelter totally under my guidance. Manmaya mam upashrita. And it doesn't happen overnight. Correction of my personality, which is a product of I don't know how many lives of mistaken identity, and I do not know what a hold it has on me. So it does not happen overnight. Bahavo jnana tapasa puta. Bahava means innumerable, countless. Jnana tapasa puta. You purify yourself with this jnana rupi tapasya, that is awareness that the divine is in me. Try it out. You will see in 24 hours, you are very fortunate you remain for 1 hour. The rest you are without God. You forget to take leave of Him, you forget to report your arrival, you keep on forgetting. Why? Because you are not used to. So you have to make innumerable, unaccountable, uncountable efforts to develop that habit, to be aware of presence of God all the time of your life. That is how you purify your personality. Bahava jnana tapasa puta, purifying yourself. Then only madbhavam agata. You will totally saturate yourself with my ideas that I am, I exist, and I am everywhere. The name, the form, the utilitarian value is just an appearance. Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Arthakriya Karitva. Name, form, qualities, and utilitarian value are only appearance. Essence is the presence of the divine, and my purpose of life is to be aware of the presence of the divine. This is what you must do to reach Him. It's a very tall claim. That means out of thousands of people, 1 or 2 may be able to do so. What about me, an unworthy human being who has that much of desire to reach God, and I don't have that much of strength to be what the 10th shloka expects me to be? Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mam upashrita bahavo jnana tapasa puta madbhavam agata. If I am unable to do so, shall I be left behind? Immediately Sri Krishna comforts us No, dear, no. Listen to me carefully. My universality. My universality. What is that? In theory, in a reality, God created this universe. Having created it, He saturated this universe with His own being. Tat srishtva tad eva anupravishat satya tatva bhavat. Whether it is grossest of the gross, whether it is subtlest of the subtle, He is everywhere. There is not a speck of space or not a dot of time where He is not. This is what it is. So, Sri Krishna says, if you are unable to reach that type of spiritual disciplining yourself, what is the next option? Je jatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajami aham. What does he say? He promises to you and me. What is his promise? Whosoever and whosoever. Tom, Dick and Harry. No discrimination. They live in this world. They are full of wanting. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want. They are full of wanting. There is no end to their wants. So, God, the divine, is looked at in various aspects. Forces of nature, and we have deified, given a particular form, a particular name, an aspect of that source of infinite. That is, apart from the avatars, he is speaking about the devas and devis, the concept of gods and goddesses. Don't say it is only Indian. The Greek mythology, the Roman mythology had god of the ocean, Neptune, god of sun, god of this, god of that. The concept of divinizing various sources of natural power and energy is a part and parcel of human culture. He says, now, according to Hindu mythology, the concept of the divine in the form of wisdom, learning, self-education. And it is conceived as Devi Saraswati, the goddess of learning, goddess of fortune, goddess of grace, goddess of wealth, Devi Lakshmi. Vishnu, Shiva, the concept of motherhood of the divine, that is conceiving the divine as a mother figure, the thousands of them in Hindu law. Each one denotes an aspect of the divine, who is infinite variety, endless infinite diversity. So, I'm a student, I'm being told by my teacher, I'm dull, I'm unable to cope with my progress of studies, so I'm told, you pray to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning. she will give you that understanding. And I truly believe, and I pray to her, "Oh Mother Saraswati, Devi Saraswati, please help me, please bless me, let me learn my lessons of life." What are you doing? You are auto-suggesting to yourself a concept of the divine with whom you can develop a relationship, though it is your true original nature, which you do not know. You defy it, separate from you. Dvaita Bhava. Because we are born and brought up in duality. And you pray to her. And if you are born honest, if you are sincere, if you are real in your prayers, she will bless you. That aspect of the divine will bless you. Je jatha mam prapadyante. Whosoever and whosoever, in whichever form, they pray to me. That is, he is admitting that he is infinitely diverse. He is everywhere. And one of his aspects of divinity is being thought of in a different name, different form. And if you pray to him or her, in whichever manner it suits you, it appeals to you. Aham tam tatha eva bhajami. Stans tathaiva bhajamyaham. Aham tam tathaiva bhajami. I will adjust myself and I will listen to their prayers and I'll bestow my blessings to them. That is, the question of diversity of divinity is being established. They are nothing else but an aspect of the infinite. And there are finite aspects, infinite aspects. Ye jatha mang prapadyante tams tatha eva aham bhajami. I will bless them. I will oblige them. I will shower my protective blessings on them. Anugrinhami. Bhajami means I will oblige them. I will help them. I will shower my blessings on them. Interpret it in any manner. Interpret it in any manner. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvasha. Each and every human in this world who do not belong to the previous category, trying to get rid of raga, dvesha, bhaya and krodha. They are not that category of, not that character, strength of character, moral character. They are lesser. They want things of the world. Let them have it. Let them know. They are all following the path leading to me. Look at that. Assurances Sri Krishna is given to you even if you don't believe in an avatara. If you believe in the mythology gods and goddesses, know for certain those gods and goddesses are nothing else but an aspect of the divine infinite nature. And you are asking them for the things of the world. You are not asking for liberation or bhakti or mukti. God says, even that sakama upasana, that is, with ultimate, ulterior desire of the worldly things, If you pray to any shape and size and name, who is nothing but my representative, my image in a finite form, it is me who are helping you, who is helping you through those images. Mama Bhartma Anuvartante. They are all coming and walking to that path which will reach me. The question is there any difference between that God and that ultimate God? Is there any difference? In my last talk, I used the word lesser God. Later on, I thought that it was an improper selection of the word. Let me clarify it, correct it. When I say lesser God, what I mean to say is we are praying for lesser things of life. The most thing of life, the greatest thing of life is to ask for mukti, bhakti, emancipation, devotion, liberation, realization. That is the greatest. Anything other than that is lesser. And who fulfill those lesser? That aspect of the divine who has that power and strength to give it to you. Devi Saraswati, Devi Lakshmi, Devi Durga, Shiva, Vishnu, and so on and so forth. Endless gods and goddesses, each representing the aspect of the divine. They are the same divine contained in a form to give us those wants, to fulfill our wants which are lesser. Lesser from what? To be one with God. I want wealth. So I pray to Goddess Lakshmi, Mother Lakshmi, with my heart and soul to give me wealth, name, fame, and grace. She is nothing else but an aspect of the divine. I am not asking from her the greater good, that is, mukti, bhakti, realization, emancipation, liberation. I'm not asking that. I'm asking lesser. Though she gives me lesser. But having fulfilled those desires and having seen the non-permanence of all this thing in the world, I pray to her for mukti and bhakti because I am attached to her. I pray to Devi Durga, I pray to Devi Lakshmi, I pray to Devi Saraswati, I pray to God Ganesha, Vishnu, Narayana, Shiva, and I pray for mukti and bhakti. They can give me that. So, lesser God is not a right usage. Lesser demands is the usage. Not mukti and bhakti, but worldly things. That is how it should be understood. But those such gods and goddesses, if you have established a deep relationship with them, then having seen the non-permanence of the things of the world, you say, I have had enough, O Mother Saraswati. Give me that knowledge. Give me that learning by means of which I can emancipate myself. You can ask that to any of them. They can give you that provided you want that. This is how you should understand. So, the 12th sloka, the last for today, this is what I explained to you. What does it say? Kangshanta karmanam siddhi jajante iha devata. Devata is dotanavan. That aspect of, allow me to use another word and non-controversial, that aspect of total cosmic infinite energy, known as the divine. According to your choice, according to your want, you ask of them. You ask of them, pray of them. And because you are in the domain of Maya, that infallible law of cause and effect works. The cause is your sadhana, your intense desire to live up to those exacting conditions which will fulfill them. You understand me? So, wishing worldly things, they choose what they want and go to such and such concept of the divine, Devata, an aspect of that force, infinite cosmic force. And Shipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. In this world, shipram means shigram. Quickly you get the result. Why? The world has an infallible law of cause and its effect. So, each and every human, with the smallest of the smallest desire, to the best desire to be emancipated, to be one with God, each one of us is being covered by this procedure. This is the excellence of Hindu philosophy. Don't think I'm being parochial. Don't think I'm being a little extra national. My God is better than the other. No. All gods are the same. They are an aspect of that infinite about whom my brain is not competent to understand and hold. Therefore, that cosmic eternal entity with infinite power, Shada Bhaga Sampanna, 6 qualities of the divine, Jnana, Aishwarya, Shakti, Bala, Birja, Teja. These are of infinite magnitude. With that, he creates this world, he rules this world. He manages this world, and we are a part and parcel of this world. So, Kangshanta karmanam siddhi jajanta iha, in this world, Devata. Devata means those aspects of the divine who have a particular area of influence. But having achieved that, if you want to reach further, because you have developed an emotional intimacy, you can ask from him or her the ultimate goal. He tang tatha eva bhajami aham. I will bless them, shower my compassionate grace on them. Kangshantam karmanam siddhi. Kangshanta karmanam siddhi jajanta iha devata shipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. These are more readily available. Wealth, power, pelf, reputation, grace, and so on and so forth. Learning, strength, might, all that readily available because they are in the domain of Maya, and cause and its effect is an infallible law of Maya. But to correct your personality, full of contradictory ideas accumulated through ages together, do not happen so quickly. That is why Bahobo Jnana Tapasa Puta has been mentioned before. It takes quite some time to correct the faults and failures, frailties and frivolities of your personality. You have to throw it out by invading yourself with idea of the divine who is ever present in you. So dears, this is a bird's eye view of shloka number 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, he will start on shloka 13. You know, India is known as a place ruled by caste system. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and the caste system at the present day has been treated as a curse in society. We will discuss that in our next chapter. Why? Because in that caste system, there are certain openings and certain restrictions. Those restrictions have been abused. And as I tell you occasionally, Swamiji said, all institutions and traditions created by humans for their own welfare, those institutions, other traditions and organizations are as good or as bad as we humans make out of it. So we will talk about this during our next talk. Thank you, dears. Thank you. May God bless us.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.